5.8 earthquake that just hit off the coast of Northern California. Literally like an hour and a half ago, the sucker just hit. And I was just discussing this the other day when we had the 8.1, which got downgraded to a 7.9 that struck off the coast of Alaska. Um, of course, my reaction was a little far fetched, telling everybody, get at least 50 miles away from the strike zone of the epicenter, I should say. Uh, you know, a lot of the people on the USGS forums and like the spectrometer sites were basically trying to tell me that as long as you're 100 feet or higher, that you shouldn't be affected by the tsunami. But quite frankly, I wouldn't want to be anywhere near any of that. Just for safety reasons, and of course the tsunami that hit in Indonesia years ago. I mean, that killed over 250,000 people, 300,000 almost, I think. Um, so yeah, I definitely don't want to be anywhere near an earthquake or a coastal zone. And I said, watch out for it because um, the activity I've been watching lately between the spectrometers that are online, you can watch them on YouTube. I think it's SpectraNet, I believe. Anyway, you can go and look at those spectrometers that are currently showing the detailed statistics of quakes that are currently happening. Microquakes, and you can base it off of if it's just sound or if it's actual fault shifts, or if we have small pieces that are dropping, or if you basically like the quake that happened the other day in Alaska was because you had the plates. How did it go? They overlapped, I believe, instead of running up against each other and then buckling. It was it was just movement on an already existing area. So there wasn't like a drop, which I'm told that those drops are the ones that actually cause the larger tsunamis. So anyway, this quake that hit off of California's coast an hour and a half ago is a 5.8, and any quake that's off of the coastal area, you want to pay attention to it. You want to make sure that you have your wits about you and that you're not near those coastal areas for at least the first hour after the quake strikes. Now, if there is another quake that hits in that area, which they're saying that they have a newly discovered fault, Dabu, if you go to Dabu's page on YouTube, Dabu77 or Dabu777, it's DAHBOO 77 or the 777. He just posted one not too long ago as well, I think like an hour ago, about the 5.8 quake too. And he was basically saying that, to be aware of a newly discovered fault that was found in Beverly Hills that runs along the LA and Beverly Hills area, just south of Bel Air, all the way to the coast. And this could affect people that are living in the area. A lot of the communities and businesses that are there could also be affected. But anyway, so to get back to what I was saying about the earthquake situation, I said watch out for this because we have one in Mexico. It was an 8.1. Then we have one up in Alaska, another 8.1, which they downgraded for whatever reason to a 7.9. And at this point, I said, watch out. I believe the caldera are venting. So I said, watch out. You're probably going to see a lot more popping off. You're going to see California or Oregon getting hit. And then we're going to see some striking over here, probably in Utah, Wyoming, Montana. If we start seeing more of these earthquakes that are starting to fire off, then we're going to see an issue where either the caldera are going to completely vent and cause more earthquakes that'll come out like a spider web, or the caldera is going to go off and we're going to see Yellowstone popping off and putting out a plume of ash, miles into the sky. So a lot of people, you got your doomsayers that'll say, it's the end of the world, that, we've got everything's coming to a head, and got wars, perpetual wars always starting, which, really, that's all politicians that are in charge of that side. But my biggest, okay, so you're in Southern California? Yeah, it was in Northern California, off the coast, Aloha. And what they were saying is that it was off the coast into the ocean a little bit. So, I mean, it's already been a little bit over an hour. My main concern is that I had already called this a couple days ago, saying, there's evidence showing that we've got, all these volcanoes that are starting to pop off. We've got earthquakes that are going off. And the way that I've been watching the map fire, I was already expecting Alaska to go off, but now, after I saw Alaska go off, I said, oh, okay, I see what's happening now. You got like a ping pong effect. You got Mexico up to Alaska, then back down to California. So either it's going to come back down and then rebound back up, back toward Alaska from California, or it's going to send a shock back down toward the Baja, and then we're going to see things going off, probably earthquakes near the Baja California, Southern California, all up into San Diego, that area. Or we might also see earthquakes that could possibly hit into Arizona, New Mexico, or Colorado. And if we start seeing that pattern, then we know that there's an issue with the tunnels that are of magma, the magma chambers that are way below the ground. And if we start seeing that pattern, then we're going to know that we're having magma movement that's pushing all of the carbon, which is, all of the, the pyroclastic, all the pyroclastic carbon and gas that's building up is going to get pushed out toward the edges. For instance, you may start seeing it push its way out the coast under the ocean. So, I mean, it's something to really take to heart and to be aware of. I know that you're out in California, Aloha, MD, so I really appreciate you tuning in. And let's just, let's keep our wits about us and gosh, just try to be smart about it, so. Let me see what you said here. So you lived here all your life. Earthquakes always worry you. I thought I was going to die in the Northridge quake. Yeah, the Northridge quake was something pretty scary from what I've been able to collect as far as reading into it and watching the videos. I remember when the freeways started dropping in California. I remember seeing that on TV. And then that made me think, because I'm in Arizona, so I'm always paranoid about driving under overpasses or driving up onto the ramps. Because we have some of them here that go up, a few hundred feet. Like the Stack out in Phoenix. And then we have them out here on the east side where they just ramp all the way up into the sky just about, and then you come back down into another lane area. So I've almost gone over the edge of one of those when my transmission locked up about 1.5 years ago. Almost got thrown off of the edge of the freeway. But anyway, I wanted to bring that to your attention. I'm not sure how much of you are following the news, so it's always good to be in the know. So I'll be back on here later. I was wanting to do a live stream last night. Unfortunately, I ran myself ragged the past few days. I was staying up until like 5, 6, 7 o'clock in the morning. Helping my wife get out the door for work, helping my daughter get ready for school, and then I would take my medications, and my medications, they literally keep me awake, so as soon as I take it, I'm up. But yeah, so hopefully I can do some streaming tonight, and we can catch up if you guys want to do a Q&A. I'd love to speak with you guys. I know I've had a lot of comments and a lot of email messages, people asking me, about the alien abductions, They want to know more details. They want to know, how it is, dealing with it in my mind, the physical aspect. There's a lot that goes into it. So I wouldn't mind at all. I would love to talk to you all about that, and see if we can develop a better group. I've always been looking for local groups, to discuss this, and I always feel that they don't work out when you go in person. It's just not the same. I always feel like I'm having a pissing match with these people. So I'm hoping that we can create an online community where we can have a live Q&A. Maybe I'll do a Google Hangouts, so we can start actually talking to each other and do like a live video conference webinar, per se, and get it out and just discuss it, and we can all relate to each other on that level. So, but anyway, so back to the earthquake. Just be aware. I'm really concerned that we're gonna have some more earthquakes popping off soon. But yeah, I will see y'all later, and I'll talk to y'all later. Love you guys. Peace, love, unity, respect. Take care of yourself, someone else, as was always said by Nick Hexum from 311. That guy's positivity is just something that I can always relate to big time. So love y'all. Thanks for tuning in, and I will talk to y'all later. All right.